Hey y'all, I got a really big announcement that's right now in the planning stage, but it could be an idea soon if y'all like this. So please answer down below in the comments if you would like to do this. So we're planning on creating the biggest fantasy football league ever. It's just gonna be a bunch of systems of fantasy football all run by us. And basically you'll be in a 20-man league, and if you're not like the top league, you get to move up and down through the zones, and you get to uh, basically every single year you could be moved up into different divisions. We're trying to have a lot of different divisions, so this is a really exciting idea that we've been kind of going around with because it is the time of fantasy football. So if y'all are interested, please comment down below if that would be interesting to you. So I'm Josh from Frontline Football, and roll the intro.
Welcome, guys, to Frontline Football. Our first matchup of today is going to be New York Jets versus the Indianapolis Colts. Jack?
I'm going to have to go with the Colts here. Well, I am very happy with Mike White's performance, and he came out with a big win over the number one seed in the AFC, Cincinnati Bengals. Fortunately, the game tape will be adjusted this week, so they're not going to allow him to take as many of the easy shots to the checkdowns and the short to intermediate passing game. The Jets are going to have to sort of adjust on a short week. And while I think there's a chance they could stay in this game because their defense has also been improving, especially on the D-line portion, ultimately, I think the Colts are still the better team, and I think Mike White's going to make too many mistakes this week. Ultimately, that was a very impressive first game, but I don't think it's going to be enough to go into Indianapolis on a short week after a big emotional win against the Bengals and pull off another upset. But, we didn't believe in them last week, so I guess you never know. But as of right now, I'm going to have to take the Colts. That's a lot to ask of Mike White to do that again. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Well, in between my dog jumping around and just sniffing everything in my room, the Indianapolis Colts will win this game. Now, I do have Mike White on fantasy team because my team just sucks at quarterback. So, yeah, that's fun. But yeah. So, I think that while Mike White's performance was fun last week, a better one like $125,000 for betting that he would be the passing leader and he had like 400 yards. That's pretty insane. But if he can win this game, I think that Zach Wilson may be traded. He may find himself with a Sam Darnold trade because I think Mike White will be their new quarterback if that happens. So give me the Colts here. While I think that Mike White's performance was fun, I don't think that he'll be able to do it again. Zach?
White had an amazing game against the Bengals, but like Jack said, they have more game film on him. They know what he wants to do. Now, they did have game film for him during the Bengals game, but it was not enough, I guess, for the Bengals to stop him. Now the Colts know Now the Colts know that he can throw for 400 yards. I think they're going to keep an eye on him. They're going to stop him, hopefully. Hopefully. But yeah, I got the Colts. Alright, our next matchup is the Bengals versus the Browns. I'm going to hand this one off to Jack. Yeah.
I am going to take the Bengals. I'm going to lean Bengals. I think this could go either way for the most part, but something feels different about the Browns this year. I can't put my finger on it. They don't feel like the same team. Something's not clicking. They're still pretty banged up for the most part. Everyone is playing hurt. I think the Browns defense can keep them in this game, but I ultimately think Cincinnati is not going to be happy about falling into a trap game last week against Mike White. I have a feeling they fell into the trap game looking into this game's into the future, so I'm guessing they're going to have a really good game plan because they fell into a trap game, so I'm guessing they were at least wasting enough time overlooking a team to look at this game. ultimately, that's why I give them the edge. They're a little healthier. I expect bounce-back games from the entire Bengals group. Browns defense will keep them in it, but it won't be enough this week. The Browns will fall once again. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Have the Bengals also. The Bengals are going to be hungry for their next win because they don't want to be that one team who loses to the Jets. I know the Titans did the same thing, and look at them right now. They are the first seed in the AFC. They've only lost to the Cardinals, best team in football other than the Packers in the NFC, and the Jets. So they were hungry for wins, and I feel like the Bengals, they've only I think lost they've only lost to 3 people. So they can do the same thing. I believe in them. So, yeah. Josh?
I gotta say, I'm gonna go with the Browns here. Because while they are banged up, I think that they probably have a little bit of a better roster than the Bengals. I think that the Bengals will win the later season game. But after the performance I saw against the Jets, where Mike White kind of led the Jets to victory, I don't have as much trust in the Bengals defense that I used. And also their tight end, CJ Uzama, which we like to call Wuza. He didn't have a really good game either. So, yeah, I think that they're gonna have to look at some of these problems on their team, especially from that Jets loss. But I do think that it will be close, but I think that the Browns will be winning this game.
All right, our next matchup, Josh will be taking it. It's Houston versus Miami. Josh.
Texans are winning another matchup. We are winning this. Why? Because we just lost 38-0 against the Rams in the first half, and then they put their backups in. We made it look close. I was cheering for the Rams at the end of the game to see how many points the scoreboard could go up to before they just call off the game. So, I'm in Spain without the S right now. But we're going to win against Miami this weekend because you know what? Miami stinks. You know who else stinks? Houston stinks. So, you put those two together and you have a match made in heaven for a tank bowl. Whew. Okay. So, Texans are going to be winning this one. Will it be pretty? No. Will it be fun to watch? No. Will it be a tank bowl? Yes. So, tune in to see Miami versus Houston, the tank bowl. Jack?
I'm going to go Dolphins. This could go either way. Both teams are in a lot of pain. A lot of pain. But I think the Dolphins, I still think they're kind of talented. I don't know why they're 1-7. It's just not working. If Tyrod comes back this week, then I think I may start to lean Texans a little bit. But I don't know him coming, even if he is back in the lineup this week, it's going to be tough for him to get game ready that quick because he's probably going to be not to have a lot of time on the practice field. So I lean Dolphins. This one could go either way. Both teams are going through a rough stretch, but I think the Dolphins, they're due a win unless Tyrod comes back and does some magic. Or we get a Davis Mills game, which we have had a couple halves of Davis Mills games that look pretty good. But as of right now, I'll lean Dolphins. I'll give it to him on the tiebreaker of home field advantage. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I got Texans. I think that the Texans might actually win against the Dolphins. This is the only opponent I can kind of see a win. Maybe the Jags again, but who knows? The Texans don't look good. The Dolphins don't look better either because the Texans and Dolphins have only beat. Texans beat the Jags, and the Dolphins beat the Patriots, but they won because of some fumbles that happened during the game. So these teams are not getting wins. They haven't gotten the best wins before, but I think Davis Mills could have a really solid game. So, yeah. Our next matchup is going to be the Bills versus the Jags. Jack.
A very interesting matchup here, and I'll take the Buffalo Bills. Do I have to say anything at all? I will, but the Jags, not great. I go as far to say bad. Their only win is the 1-7 Dolphins, and the Bills They're still just running through teams. They've had a lot of easy teams they've got to beat up on, and they're going to get to bully another team this week in the Jags. Take the Bills. Take the over. I think the Bills are going to blow them out here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
So, let's discuss this matchup here. I have the Buffalo Bills winning. And I think that the scoreboard operator should get a raise for this game because of how many times he's going to be putting Buffalo scoring. If the Buffalo Bills can blow out the Houston Texans and the Texans beat the Jaguars, then the Jaguars are going to lose by more points than the Houston Texans did. Because at least the Houston Texans had somewhat of a pulse in that game. With a pick, some Davis Mills playing a bit of a quarterback, and then you get picked off. There was some shining lights in that game. Jacksonville, I don't see that. I'm gonna see Lawrence running around for his life. He's gonna become David Carr 2.0, and just the entire team is not gonna be doing it. So, give me the Bills here. They're gonna get another win and show why they are probably gonna win the AFC this year. Zach?
Bills. This is obvious. I don't even have to explain myself. The Bills are better than the Jags in every single category, even quarterback. So, I just don't see a Jags win here. So, yeah, let's just go on to the next one. All right, Dallas versus Denver. Josh.
Okay, so I heard one team in that matchup, Denver. So, let's see. Denver, I'm probably going to choose... Who are the Broncos facing this week?
The Cowboys.
Boys.
Let's see. Cowboys. Okay. I have the Dallas Cowboys winning because... Who wouldn't this week? Because the Denver Broncos are so inconsistent. I cannot gauge them. We said they're gonna win, they lose. We said they're gonna lose, and they win. So, yeah, give me the Dallas Cowboys here. Zach?
I got Cowboys also. The Cowboys are they're a different team now. They have a lot of great options on the offensive front, and their defense is so much better than last year that we can't even be talking about. These are two different teams that we are talking about right now. And the Broncos have not been looking good. So, yeah, I think the Cowboys will demolish the Broncos. Check.
The Cowboys do not like the Broncos at all. They are the worst. I finally gave up on them after a month of picking them and picking them their defense in fantasy, and then they decide to do something. This cycle is vicious, and I'm sticking to my promise that I will not pick them again for at least another couple weeks, unless it's a really easy matchup like they play the Dolphins or something. But overall, the Broncos traded Von Miller at the trade deadline. They're clearly sellers. They were looking to trade Kyle Fuller at the trade deadline. They were trying to sell. That doesn't strike me as a team that really is trying to make any sort of push. They probably could care less at this point. And ultimately, the Cowboys have become a well-oiled machine. They're lucky that, Dak got hurt and he was out. They're lucky they were playing the Vikings, who are busy exploding as they normally do in the midseason. So they didn't have to worry about that. I'm picking the Cowboys, though. Offense is electric. I don't care if it's Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush, whoever. I don't care who's in a quarterback. I'm not picking the Broncos.
All right. Have I said my take? I don't remember.
I think so.
I think I did. Well, if I didn't, I said Cowboys. All right. Our next teams is the Vegas Raiders versus the New York Giants. Jack.
I'm taking the Raiders because they're coming off a bye, which is my favorite game to pick teams coming off a bye. And two, the Giants. I don't know anymore with this team. Saquon went to the COVID list now that he's actually got a chance of playing. Boom. Nope. Whisk that away. He is out indefinitely. And as usual, Daniel Jones will probably be missing two of his top three receiving threats. The Giants' headsets won't be working. Jason Garrett's going to do some dumb play calling. Just the mixture, the Giants' formula this season. And ultimately, the Raiders, they did lose Henry Ruggs, but they still got Waller, who's going to be back healthy. They still got Renfro. I think that will be enough to beat the Giants coming off a bye. It's not that hard to beat the Giants, especially when you get extra game plan time to do it. I'd take the Raiders. What are your thoughts, Zach?
The Raiders. I think the Raiders still have a really solid team, even without Henry Ruggs. This is just a really big matchup again. Not like this team. It's big to see what the Raiders can do without Henry Ruggs. So this is not big and like, oh, they're facing the Giants. The Giants are easy. It's just I want to see how this Raiders offense works without Ruggs there. So yeah, Josh.
I gotta go with the Giants here. At least the Giants have somewhat of a roster, and the Raiders just lost Henry Ruggs due to some actions that he has done off the field, which we have covered in our previous videos. So go check that out after you're done watching this one. So, yeah, I really think that the Giants will win here, not because they're the better team, but just because they're more cohesive with Devontae Booker really doing well, and with some of their receivers doing well. Unfortunately, they're injured, but I feel like there's enough backups in the system where the Giants can still do well and win some games.
All right. Next matchup is the New England Patriots versus the Carolina Panthers. Back.
I'm going to take the Patriots. Oh, I don't even like saying it. But for 4 years, 3.5 years, I've watched Sam Darnold get absolutely mauled by these guys over and over and over and over. I don't care if he's got a CMC, a Derrick Henry, a DJ Moore, a Robbie Anderson. I don't care what weapons he has. If he's even playing, too, because he is in concussion protocol right now, so we'll see if he plays. But overall, Patriots, I was impressed with the upset over the Chargers, especially with the Chargers having the extra time to prepare. I think they'll be able to take care of the Panthers here, no matter who's in at quarterback. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I gotta go with the Patriots here. There's no other way to put it. I think that the Patriots are just the better team, and they're going to show it whenever field against the Panthers. The Panthers have really shown themselves to be frauds. They started 3-0 and haven't seemed to win a game. So, give me the New England Patriots here because they at least beat the Chargers.
I have the Patriots. The Patriots are really not solid. It's just they're a team that does really well when it comes to bad teams, and then they'll lose against the good teams. Now the Panthers are not a good team anymore. They used to be when they were undefeated, but they are not undefeated anymore. They've lost like 4 times. So yeah, it's just I hope that the Panthers can get better. So yeah. Frick. Did you already go, Jack?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Our next matchup is the Minneapolis. I just said Minneapolis. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Baltimore Ravens. Josh.
Minnesota Vikings versus Baltimore Ravens. I gotta go with Baltimore here because the Vikings are very Okay. The Vikings are very inconsistent, so I gotta go with the Ravens here. At least the Ravens have at least some semblance of how a team should be run. So I'm gonna take the Ravens here, beating the Vikings on some fluke play. So I'm gonna hand this one off to Zach for his take.
At the Ravens, they're coming off a bye. They have more game plan time for the Vikings, while the Vikings had to play the Cowboys on the Monday night. No, Sunday night. Played them, and I don't feel like the. I don't think the Vikings are ready for what the Ravens are gonna have in store for them. So,
I'm also going to go Ravens here. Ravens, they've been impressive up to this point. They lost to the Bengals, which was a little surprising. I think they're going to bounce back here. I think the Vikings can stay in it. I think the issue is going to be the Vikings are going to find, once again, another fun way to drop this game. You know, like they do every game as of late. They always got to be creative with the way they lose. They can't just lose like the rest of us and go down. They got to lose in some ridiculous fashion that I have a feeling they're going to keep this trend going this week. Give me the Ravens.
right. Our next matchup is the LA Chargers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Josh.
I gotta say, the LA Chargers, well, they did just lose to the Patriots. I believe that this week they are more prepared, and they're gonna beat a team like Philly, who I really don't know what's happening in. So, give me the Chargers here. Yeah.
I'm also going to go Chargers here. Now, Chargers, it hasn't been easy as of late. It's been hard. They've dropped 2 in a row now to teams that I thought they'd be able to beat. Ravens make sense. New England, not so much. Not a little disappointed, but ultimately, I'm sticking on the Chargers train. I'm going to ride out this struggle, and I think it ends here in Philadelphia. They're going to get the win here. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I also have the Chargers. They've also, like you said, take a little bit of a step back from being this elite offense when they face KC to now not able to beat New England, which is kind of sad when I make the point that New England beats all the bad teams. I don't want you to become one of the bad teams, Chargers, okay? So, yeah. All right. Our next matchup is the Green Bay Packers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Jack.
Ooh. Chiefs. I don't like to say it, but Chiefs. We don't know if we're getting a Devontae Adams. We don't know if we're getting an Aaron Rodgers. And, well, I would not be surprised if the Packers won this game with the way the Chiefs have been playing lately. I think this is going to be the Chiefs' big win, and they're going to convince themselves that they're back, and they're going to try to go on a run or whatever. But ultimately, Packers lack their top playmakers. It's going to be a lot of Aaron Jones. That's really all that they can do. Aaron Jones, Randall Cobb. They lost Robert Tonyan for the year. They've had some struggles on defense as well. I think the Chiefs will pull it out here with the Packers missing so many of their superstars that have brought them this far in the first place. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I think that the Packers are not winning this one. I think that the Chiefs are winning this one because even though that the Chiefs haven't been doing well, at least most of their team is still healthy. There's too many variables with the Packers that I cannot get behind. Randall Cobb is your number one option, should not be the whole thing that you are going off of. And I think that with this team, even though they did beat Arizona last week, I feel like they're still going to be high off of that, and they're going to lose to Kansas City this. So, give me the Packers here. Zach?
I also have the Chiefs. I can see a Packers win, but it's really not looking good. Jordan Love's going to be your Jordan Love going to be your starting quarterback. Did you see how he did in preseason? I know he did decent, but now he actually has to go against a real defense, okay? And I'm not saying that the Chiefs are a real defense, okay? But the thing is, what Jack said about Aaron Jones running a lot, it's not going to be able to be the most simplest thing. They got Melvin Ingram now. They got Chris Jones. They got Frank Clark. All of those guys are going to want reps. And all those guys are going to get reps. And they're going to get a lot of TFLs on Aaron Jones. So be careful. So, yeah. All right. Our next matchup is the Tennessee Titans versus the LA Rams. All right. I'll take this one. I got the Rams. I was thinking Titans for a little bit, but Titans don't have Derrick Henry, so they don't have an offense. because how Tannehill runs is he runs by Derrick Henry getting a play action to start the usual to get some good yards. So yeah, Jack.
I'm going to go Rams. They just roll. They just keep moving. Doesn't matter what happens. They just keep going. Very impressed. Titans lost their number one playmaker in their offense in Derrick Henry, and I think that's going to take a little time to sink in, and how they're going to adjust to that is going to be very interesting. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I gotta go with the Los Angeles Rams here because, like everyone else said, Derrick Henry is out, and I don't really believe in the Titans that much to do well without Derrick Henry. So, give me the Los Angeles.
Right. Our next matchup is the Atlanta Falcons versus the New Orleans Saints. Josh.
Okay, the Falcons versus Saints. I gotta go with the Saints here. Even with Winston tearing his ACL, I still think that Trevor Siemian and that defense will do better than anything that Matt Ryan tries to throw at them. So, give me the Saints. Not a pretty win, because that's not what Saints do. It's going to be an ugly win that makes you wonder why the heck the Saints are still a football team. Zach?
I had the Atlanta Falcons beating the New Orleans Saints. There is no quarterback for that team. The only playmaker on that team right now is Callaway and Alvin Kamara. The defense, it's fine, but like I think that Matty Ice will actually get a dub here. I know that Calvin Ridley's not going to be playing. I understand why, and Kyle Pitts is the only option, but I feel like Kyle Pitts can do really well. So yeah.
I'm going to have to go Saints here. Whatever's happening to the Falcons, I can't trust them 100%. I think the Saints defense is actually up and coming as of the last couple weeks, and I think that hot streak continues this week with another elite defensive performance.
All right, our next matchup is the Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to go against my Cardinals. I'm going to go Niners. Now, this is all dependent on one man and one man alone. Kyler Murray. Reports have been saying that he has had a injury in his ankle. So if he doesn't play, the Niners get a free win. And I am betting that Cliff Kingsbury does not want to start his golden goose in Kyler Murray. So I think the Niners will get a win over us. Back.
I'll go Cardinals. Now this one gets yucky because it's a game time decision, so we don't know who's going to be the quarterback, and it all leans on that. But I'll take a nice coin flip and say that Kyler's going to be the quarterback, so I'll take Cardinals. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I gotta say Cardinals. I don't care if it's Colt McCoy. I don't care if it's Kyler Murray. Both of them are really good quarterbacks. And the Cardinals will get a win because the Saints don't know what the heck they're doing in San Francisco. So, give me the Arizona Cardinals here.
All right, our final matchup of this week is going to be the Chicago Bears versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Heck.
I'm going to go Steelers. I hate giving the Steelers credit. It's one of the least favorite things I do in the world. But I have to because Big Ben, no arm, missing Juju, just getting carried by Najee Harris offensively, lackluster offensive line, doesn't matter. Defense is going to bail them out most times against the easy opponents like the Bears. So TJ Watt versus rookie Justin Fields. This one feels pretty simple. Unless Justin Fields can pull off some magic, I'm going with the Steelers. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Khalil Mack going to be playing?
We don't know yet.
I gotta give it to the Steelers then. If Khalil Mack was there, I would think that the Bears had a better chance than what they have. But without Khalil Mack, their team is basically nothing because that is their biggest playmaker on that defense. And if he is not there, the Steelers will have a better time getting the win. All right, Josh.
I gotta go with the. Gotta go with the Steelers. I feel like their offense is gonna do just enough for their defense to bail them out and make it look like the Steelers are back. Especially with Chicago Bears, we're having the same problem, just worse. So give me the Steelers here.
All right. Well, that does it for our video today. If you liked it, what should they do, Josh?
If you like it, don't forget to hit that like button, press that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever Frontline Football video. Because, yeah, it's gonna be great. Like I said in our other video, we're trying to get some interviews, we're trying to get some new content, we're trying to get that fantasy league up. So, just get ready because this is gonna be a fun year. So I've been Josh for Frontline Football, and Jack hit the plugs.
As always, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FrontlineFB. I get to do the thing this week. Point. Right there. Great. Interesting week of predictions. I'm not going to call it great. I don't love every matchup. But we'll see what happens. Fun week of football. We'll see you guys back here next week.
See ya.